is enough. Catherine has worked in the Attorney General's office for 10 years. I've seen her lead and help set up the Montgomery Area Crime Suppression Unit and help pass tough new laws to target gang activity. Catherine Robinson cares about Montgomery, and she will work with Coach Strobel to put an end to violent crime and restore law and order. Catherine will deliver. On May 19th, join me in voting for Catherine Robinson for Attorney General.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Well, hi, everybody. Our weather app will be your best friend again with another round of strong to possibly severe storms this evening and tonight across the area. Damaging wind gusts would be the main threat. Overnight low in the 60s. Thursday's high only in the 70s, maybe a few leftover showers. Then yet another storm system will bring another round of showers and storms by Friday night into Saturday. Much cooler air follows over the weekend. In fact, even the nights will be in the mid-40s, I think, by Saturday night and Sunday night. Get ready for some weather changes from the Blue Water Weather Center. This is Rich Thomas.
We try to do this transition at 3 as quickly as we possibly can. I'm going to make a guess here.
Have a happy new year with Rich Thomas weather.
Is that you?
Oh, my gosh. We need to make one for Memorial Day.
That's the next holiday. We got time. Oh, God. Crazy day today. And, of course, this morning we had a number of weather impacts, both on our ability to stay on the air, for starters, and then...
Yeah, we did.
And understand that we are in for, it's all afternoon. It seemed like the forces of nature were gathering for a repeat.
But you can feel what you were feeling, and I saw your text. What you can feel is the higher dew points, the moisture in the air. The dew point right now is 70. That's very tropical, and that is fuel for the fire for some more storms. First of all, let's talk about the great side of the coin, beneficial rains. Oh my gosh, we are in a severe. Well, actually, we're actually one level over severe drought. We're in an extreme drought, and we had 1.68 inches here in East Montgomery. The airport had 1.81. Maxwell Air Force Base, 1.86. Hey, Lake Martin, 2.5 inches of rain is wonderful stuff. And have you noticed, Greg, how green the grass has gotten today? Like how green instantly everything got today?
It loves the nitrogen, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, by the way, there's a lake. And I don't know this lake. It's in north central Alabama. It's called Lake Birdie. I've never heard of it. But one of the hydrologists from the National Weather Service reported that the entire lake rose 1 foot. The whole lake rose 1 foot because of rainfall last night. So, Alabama has been thirsty for this rain. So that's the good news about what happened last night. More beneficial rains tonight. Some of the storms could be strong, possibly severe. There is a severe thunderstorm watch for many of us right now up until 9 o'clock tonight. It does not include the city of Montgomery. It goes as far east as, Prattville, Greenville. It covers Otaga, Lowndes, and also in Butler County. So does that mean if you're in Montgomery County, you should not worry? No. I mean, things are not quite that static as far as could the watch be extended? Sure. We're talking about a severe thunderstorm potential tonight, and I think the main hours are 7 p.m. to midnight. I'm looking at several models right now. I think 10 o'clock, to me, looks like I hate to throw out numbers. I really do. Looks like a pretty substantial hour for a lot of us in the river region. The National Weather Service, in their severe thunderstorm watch till 9, mentions 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, mentions ping-pong-sized hail, mentions frequent lightning, they do not bring up tornadoes in their actual rhetoric, but you can never say a zero tornado threat. But fortunately, it's a small threat. Doesn't matter. I always tell you, if a if a big tree lands on your house and comes through the roof, doesn't matter if it was a tornado that did it or a straight line wind. So you have to be cognizant of the fact that that could happen. I hope you have our weather app. If you don't, it's free in the App Store. Just search Rich Thomas Weather, award-winning. You'll even hear my voice coming out of your phone if you allow the notifications telling you that you're under a watch or a warning. Also, plug up your weather radio. I always say that it's weather radio is like, as far as the noise quality is as important as a smoke detector. As far as saving your life.
Well, you got to hear it. You're likely to hear it before you see it.
Absolutely, and some people depend on hearing a tornado siren. Stop that, because they can malfunction. You cannot hear them, and by the way, they only go off for a tornado warning, not a severe thunderstorm warning. So there you go. So more beneficial rains tonight. That's really good news. More beneficial rains. Another storm system, a separate storm system. Friday night into Saturday with more beneficial rains and maybe some good rainfall totals. When you add up all the rain from last night to tonight to Friday night into Saturday, this is going to put a really nice dent in what is now an extreme drought in the state of Alabama. So that's the good side of the coin.
And some chilly weather too, which is kind of a
as a matter of fact. Yeah, highs in the 60s by the time we get into, Friday and Saturday, and lows in the mid-40s, perhaps. And it's late in the ball game right now.
Yeah.
By Saturday night into Sunday night. So, it's going to be brief, but a substantial setback on the temperature, sure.
Try and get some sleep tonight, okay?
Haven't had sleep in a while.
Yeah.
But I'll try.
Or get a nap now.
Appreciate you, buddy.
I'll be as boring as I can,
care.
so you won't be feel compelled to listen. Take care, buddy.
We'll see you later.
All right.
Bye.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASE Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASE Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
A lot of significant news to talk about this afternoon, but we're not limited to just news. That can get fatiguing. Speaking of fatigue, guys, if you've been feeling, you know what I'm saying, just like, wow, I don't feel like doing anything. Good, bad, going to work, the work day's too long. Somebody invites you to play golf, and nah, it's too hot, it's too something. But the real issue is you don't have the energy to do it. That's not just an age thing. That could be a very insidious thing called low T, low testosterone. And that can happen for a lot of reasons. Can also lead to other issues like weight gain, even though you're not necessarily overeating. The pounds start to pile up for no obvious reason. That can also cause additional issues like ED. There's one simple solution for all of it at one terrific location, Montgomery Men's Health. Again, I praise the staff there. It's an awesome group. Customer service is top-notch. And they've helped thousands of guys recapture the energy that gets them a real day, not just getting through it, but having a little extra left over for fun. And if the fun's not happening, oh, that's the end of the world. It's mortifying. It's embarrassing, but it's actually quite fixable. And you won't be the first. There are things above and beyond pills that have helped guys regain stamina, performance, libido, whatever might be missing. You're not the first, and the only crazy thing is to do nothing when there are great solutions available right here at Montgomery Men's Health. Call 334-440-3663. Schedule the $99 test so they can find out your T level, and if it's low, guess what? It can be fixed, and the renaissance from that test is amazing. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Book the appointment online if you'd
The
like.
views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any
We
advertisers.
still have some settling in to do, so let's start with a clip from Ronald Reagan.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land, we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom. Each one of those markers is a monument to the kind of hero I spoke of earlier. Their lives ended in places called Belleau Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. Under one such marker lies a young man, Martin Treptow, who left his job in a small-town barber shop in 1917 to go to France with the famed Rainbow Division. There on the Western Front, he was killed trying to carry a message between battalions under heavy artillery fire. We're told that on his body was found a diary. On the flyleaf, under the heading, My Pledge, he had written these words: America must win this war. Therefore, I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice, I will endure. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone. We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
It is the big broadcast, happy hour, with Greg and Pamela on this edition of MWACD, except Pamela's not here, it's just me. Does that make it less big? Yeah.
And here they are.
We have lots to talk about. And I have nobody to screen the calls, so let's see who's on line one.
Hey, this is Andy.
Andy, how are you?
All right. Hey, I just, I'm on Atlanta Highway right near Burbank, and there's a helicopter that just keeps circling around over here. You ain't heard nothing, or?
I have not, but you know what? I've got, I can tell by the length of Skipper's traffic updates whether there's something going on or not. So I may wait a couple of minutes, like till 3:20.
Yeah. He's actually circling Eastdale Mall. Now that I'm a little closer, I can tell.
Well, would we be surprised they were trying to find somebody who committed a crime in that area?
Nope. Wouldn't be in the least bit.
Might be that because if it was a life support helicopter or something, it probably would have landed already.
Right, yeah, it's not life support. I can see it.
Well, if anybody has any
We're-
scoop
we're
on that,
saying
we'd love to know. We'd love to know.
All righty, then. You guys have a nice afternoon.
We'll try. So, big deal decision today that may actually help the Republicans enormously in the midterms. The Supreme Court has struck down racial gerrymandering, meaning we're going to set up districts to make sure a person of a specific color or ethnicity gets the seat. Unconstitutional. Always has been. It was a gift going back to the days of LBJ and all of the garbage he did, all the damage he did to the country with his stupid programs, none of which have worked. In fact, one of them, food stamps, or as we call it today, the EBT card. I don't know if you saw this, but they put out a list today of people in various states who are driving luxury cars and collecting EBT benefits. It's remarkable. Lamborghinis, Porsches, almost 3,000 Teslas. Cars I can't afford, and I feed myself. Usually without making a mess, but I do. Let me see if I can find this. The B in EBT stands for Bentley, from Don Serber. He's always wanted a Bentley. His wife wouldn't let him buy one. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins tweeted out, in one state, 14,000 individuals receiving SNAP benefits were driving luxury cars. Now, how does this happen? How does somebody, it could be one of the 3 Bentley owners, Ferraris, 3 of those, 11 Lamborghinis, 59 Maseratis, 244 Alfa Romeos. This is one state. 306 Land Rovers, 2,000 Teslas. One state. Taking advantage of the American taxpayer, feeding their faces while driving around in cars that are worth 6 figures. Here's the good news. 4.3 million Americans have been moved off SNAP, but obviously there is more work that needs to be done. And this is taking place in a red state, not a blue state. Somewhere in America, a Lamborghini owner is buying groceries on the taxpayer dime. A university professor is driving a $346,000 Rolls Royce and collecting food stamps. Foreign fraudsters are signing up for welfare from overseas using IP addresses traced back to China, Mexico, Canada, and more. And this would have continued on had it not been for Donald Trump and people who are looking out for our best interests. Yet, the Democrats, they don't care. Well, I mean, these are their voters probably also. Officially, more than 1 in every $10 spent on food stamps is an error, and even that includes a significant amount of fraud. A 7-fold increase over erroneous spending from just 20 years ago. This figure significantly underestimates the real waste, fraud, and abuse in the program. It ignores the erroneous payments. Wow. The FGA posted pictures of these various luxury cars with a statement that each of these cars has an owner who uses EBT. 43 states and D.C. use the loophole in the law, and there's a little bit on that, the broad-based eligibility, which allows states to ignore restrictions on eligibility such as income. You can now have an income twice the poverty level, still get the stamps. Eliminate limits on cars, yachts, and savings, and states can also waive those limits as well. Hence, up to 6 million people, 14% of EBT recipients, should be ineligible. It costs us $100 billion a year. Closing the BBCE could save taxpayers $14 billion. Think about that the next time Congress complains about feeding soldiers one surf and turf dinner on a special occasion. Remember that? Oh, the Democrats went nuts. That's when they get upset about taxpayer dollars being wasted. when we're treating the military to a good dinner. Good God. Critically, these were newer vehicles manufactured in just the last handful of years, not old classics that people have held on to and then fell into hard times. And this is just one of many areas. Look at the fraud. Oh God. I mean, it just adds up and adds up. And we're just expected to, wasting another $100 billion. Okay. Whatever. So at least something is being done to address it. And it's not by the Democrats. They hate you, in case you hadn't heard. They hate everybody. But, the one person Democrats hate more than anybody else is themselves. I want to play this clip when we come back from our first break. It's a Johnny Carson clip. I did put it on Facebook. You may or may not have seen it, but we'll get to that. Rich has got us covered on the rain, but most of that heavy-duty activity is going to arrive after you're home tonight. And by the way, we had planned on having an anniversary party at Baumhauer's, but we announced yesterday, in case you missed it, we're not going to be gathering there tonight. We'll celebrate on another date. Here's another call. Good afternoon.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah, this is something else. I was looking at the live coverage of the King's visit, and I know Giuliani is being invited to anything. Is he well, or is everybody going to be gone?
You know what? You need a better connection because I can't understand a freaking thing you're saying. I'm sorry. I don't have. I can't put you on hold. I have nobody to put you on hold to talk to. So, buy a better phone. Call us later. All right. Traffic time at 3:20.
Well, our latest accident is on Zelda Road right near Five Guys. That is right before Vaud Road. Please use caution there. Other than that, we're not looking too bad. Light to moderate traffic flow, interstates, boulevards, and all around Montgomery. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic. Registration going on now at Trenham State Community College for summer classes that begin May 20th. That date's fast approaching. Change your life. Go to trenhamstate.edu to get all the information. Buckle up with J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
President Trump told us it takes homegrown food to make America healthy again.
Farmers are an indispensable national asset, part of the backbone of America.
And fourth-generation farmer Jack Williams agrees.
People want stuff grown here. They want to know what they're getting this day and time.
That's why Jack stood with President Trump to cut taxes for Alabama farmers, expand protections for hunting and game management, and ban lab-grown meat.
We just don't have enough testing on it to know what it would do to the general public.
Now Jack Williams is running for Ag Commissioner to back President Trump's plan to protect our farmland and support our farming families.
We're looking at bringing business to Alabama, helping them out to come here to help our farmers even. The more we can bring locally and have right here, the better we're going to be. I will be the first Ag Commissioner to be as hands-on as ever been.
Homegrown leadership. That's why Alabama farmers are backing Jack Williams for Agricultural Commissioner. Paid for by Jack Williams Campaign.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This is Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. If you're an experienced sales professional ready for more opportunity, more income potential, and more control over your own success, we should talk. At Blue Water, you'll work with local business owners to develop strategic marketing campaigns across 7 radio stations and a growing digital platform, including social, streaming, and targeted advertising. Outside sales experience is required. Media or digital experience is a plus. If you're ready for a career move that rewards performance, send us your resume today. BlueWaterBroadcasting.com.
Headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Jerry Seinfeld's 72nd birthday today, so we'll hear lots of Seinfeld clips.
Food is so complicated as an adult. It's just, you see people in the supermarket, they're just sweating it out. Nobody knows, what do I eat? The protein, the carbs, the fat content. Oh my God, fat content. You're just walking up to each other. You look pretty good. What are you eating? Maybe I'll eat that. The whole supermarket itself is designed to break down your sense of having any life outside the supermarket. It's like a casino. There's no clocks, no windows, no easily accessible exits. You ever not buy anything in the supermarket and try and get out of there? It's impossible. There's no way out. You can see what happens to people. When they're walking up to the supermarket, they really have a whole sense of purpose. I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, I'm going to pay for it, I'm going to get out of here and get right back to my normal life. You see that same person 10 minutes later just... What aisle is this? Why did I come up here? Oh, he's noticing something new. Oh, they got him in mesquite flavor now. What is mesquite? Wonder if it's made from mosquitoes.
It is 3:30 on the nose. Rich Thomas joined us at the beginning of the program. Get ready for some rock and roll weather tonight, although no tornadoes are expected. Some areas west of here under various watches. I mentioned before the break a clip that has been sent to me by numerous people. I'd love to thank you all individually, but I'm not that organized. But this is Johnny Carson at the 1981 Oscars. Now, the Oscars were supposed to happen at the same time Ronald Reagan had been shot by John Hinckley Jr. in Washington. So they postponed the ceremony for a day. And this is how Carson handled it the next day at the event.
Tonight, understand why. Because of the incredible events of yesterday, that old adage, the show must go on, seemed relatively unimportant. The Academy, ABC Television, and all of us connected with the show felt because of the uncertain outcome, as of this time yesterday, it would have been inappropriate to stage a celebration. But the news today is very good, as you know. The president is in excellent condition at last reports. He's been conducting business.
Imagine that. Hollywood applauding a Republican.
And he happens to be in very good spirits. After all, you must remember this is a man who yesterday, while he was in the hospital unable to speak, wrote on a sheet of paper, "All things considered, I'd rather be in Philadelphia." So tonight the show does go on. Now, 2 weeks ago, President Reagan videotaped an opening greeting for this occasion. We were in contact with the White House about 2 hours ago, and it was the president's express wishes that we use that introduction. And I might add that you might like to know that he also asked for a television set in his room so he could view this program tonight. Actually, the president was in such good form today, I was very tempted to call him and ask him if he had any more of those one-liners that I could use. So it is especially pleasing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to say, here is the President of the United States.
And it cuts off. I want to see what Reagan prepared for that Academy Awards ceremony. But that's not the reason I played the clip. Check out Johnny Carson and compare him to that evil SOB Jimmy Kimmel, who is lower than an earthworm. And Johnny Carson had more talent in I don't even want to get into comparisons because there are none. Kimmel is one of a disgraceful group, has taken late night TV from intelligent, topical, witty comedy and turned it into a dumpster dive of hate. That's what you get with Kimmel. Thank God Colbert is going away. God only knows what he has planned for a send-off. I have a feeling that Colbert, unless he gets treatment, will probably end up in the same dungeon as Keith Olbermann and a few others who have just gone completely stark, raving, nuts, mad, crazy. Now, how much of this can we be expected to tolerate in the future? Very good news from the Supreme Court today. And we're going to need some help from David Blackman and others because the Republicans may be picking up a lot of seats because the unconstitutional practice of racial gerrymandering is over. It's not the way it's supposed to work. And in a way, what they've done is also state that DEI and all this other BS that's designed to make people feel good there's a rainbow. Look, I'm all for rainbows. I'm all for diversity. I'm all for inclusion. But I think it needs to be organic and not put together like a dinner plate. We'll have this appetizer, this entree. No. Because when you do it the other way, you end up with Ketanji Brown Jackson, who may be the biggest single joke in political history on the Supreme Court. In fact, nobody dared call out Joe Biden. I'm gonna appoint a black female. Well, so much for the rest of you that had Supreme Court aspirations, whether you're qualified or not, whether you be the best judge in history or not. I'm not interested in you. I'm interested in making my masters feel better. It's just, we've listened to this, we've watched this for so long, everybody's afraid to say anything because there might be consequences. I'm just sick of kissing ass. And what do we get as a reward for all this? These wonderful liberal ideas. How have we been rewarded? I mean, the things that were problems 60 years ago, with all this liberal brilliance trying to guide us out of poverty and hate and discrimination and everything else, they made all of it worse. And nobody was a bigger contributor to that. Well, we have to give LBJ his credit. And he was a closet racist. But he knew how to use black people for political gain. And Barack Obama. I wonder how many people are willing to call the show and say, boy, that was a mistake voting for him. I thought maybe. And you can see it because what did we have? John McCain? I voted for him, but it was hard to feel excitement. In fact, the only excitement was knowing that Sarah Palin was on the ticket with him. And you may recall this, she caused such a sensation as a genuine conservative that the media immediately targeted her. They made the whole election about her and making up stuff, just like they did about, when this all comes out, the Tulsi documents and everything else, the Russian collusion BS, all these hoaxes. Well, there's still going to be people that believe that's all made up. But it was, in fact, what they put, and it's not just they did it to Donald Trump. The Russian collusion thing, anybody with a brain knew that was phony. Everybody knew it was sourced originally by something that Hillary Clinton's people put together. Now, what motive could she have had? And the damage that did day after day, years, collusion, the walls are closing in and they're going to impeach him and get him out. And it didn't happen. And we reelected him. We actually reelected him twice. That's another thing when the 2020 stuff starts to hit the fan. But it's going to be a complete waste of time unless we see some people go to jail. Also, let me switch to Liberty Daily here. I want you to see this headline. And you can see it on the YouTube feed. Secret case on docket signals others are going to be charged in COVID takedown. The biggest fraud ever perpetrated on the American people and what they put us through. And the businesses they ruined or closed. The damage that was done. And there are still people running around with a mask everywhere they go today because they're scared crapless of a virus and have no faith in their own immune systems. All of that. You know, the Democrats have everything in their arsenal except good ideas. We're at 3:38. Let's hit Skipper up for an update. Blue Water News coming up.
Well, our latest accident is on Zelda Road right near Five Guys. That is right before Vaud Road. Please use caution there. Other than that, we're not looking too bad. Light to moderate traffic flow, interstates, boulevards, and all around Montgomery. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic. Registration going on now at Trentham State Community College for summer classes that begin May 20th. That date's fast approaching. Change your life. Go to trenthamstate.edu to get all the information. Buckle up with Jay Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Sky Mosley.
News is brought to you by Adams Motorsports of Montgomery, where your pleasure is their business.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Montgomery woman has been arrested for arson in connection with an early Tuesday morning fire. Montgomery Fire Rescue units responded to the 600 block of West Edgemont Avenue shortly after 5 a.m., where the house was engulfed in flames. Investigators quickly determined the fire had been intentionally set. 27-year-old Venetia Nathan was arrested on the scene and charged with first-degree arson. Montgomery Public Schools will be holding its kindergarten kickoff week beginning Monday at all elementary schools. Kindergarten kickoff allows students and parents to register, take a tour of their school, and meet the teachers. All families with incoming kindergarten students are encouraged to attend next week. An elderly Prattville resident missing since April 24th has been found safe. 93-year-old Elton Robert Ralston was found alive following a large-scale multi-agency search led by Prattville Fire Rescue. Details are still limited, but Ralston was found in a swampy wooded area miles from his home. Rescuers noted that Ralston's dog never left his side. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
AdamsMotorsports.com on the web or Adams Motorsports on the Boulevard in Montgomery. That's at Adams Motorsports in Montgomery, where your pleasure is our business. Come by and learn more about the new Suzuki GSX 8R motorcycle and see for yourself the bar has officially been reset.
It's Prattville City Fest, presented by Prattville Baptist Hospital, May 1st through 2nd in historic downtown Prattville. Live entertainment, arts and crafts, food, and Pepsi products by signature sponsor Pepsi. Prattville City Fest, presented by Prattville Baptist Hospital, May 1st through 2nd in historic downtown Prattville. It's free. Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know, go.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
1819 News.
The commissioner for the Alabama Department of Corrections is going to retire. Governor Ivey announced the plan for John Hamm this week. Ivey also named the ADOC Chief Deputy Commissioner Greg Lovelace as Hamm's replacement. Hamm took on the commissioner role in 2022 after 35 years in law enforcement. Ivey commended Hamm for his exceptional work in running the Department of Corrections and also said that Lovelace brings a lot of expertise to the job of commissioner. Lovelace will assume the role as commissioner this coming Friday and will be in that position for a year since Ivey's term as governor expires at the end of next January. That's when a new governor elected this coming November will step into that office. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A man has been arrested in Mobile County for a gruesome quadruple homicide. 54-year-old William Oliver of Wilmer is facing 8 counts of capital murder in the case where a mother, her pregnant teenage daughter, and 12-year-old son were all found tied up and murdered in their home on April 20th. Wilmer has a criminal history in Mobile County going back to the 1990s. U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville has signed on to a piece of legislation that would designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization. Tuberville says that the Muslim Brotherhood is against everything that this country stands for. I'm Andrea.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. Our weather app will be your best friend again with another round of strong to possibly severe storms this evening and tonight across the area. Damaging wind gusts will be the main threat. Overnight low in the 60s. Thursday's high only in the 70s, maybe a few leftover showers. Then yet another storm system will bring another round of showers and storms by Friday night into Saturday. Much cooler air follows over the weekend. In fact, even the nights will be in the mid-40s, I think, by Saturday night and Sunday night. Get ready for some weather changes. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
I just came back in. I was busy checking traffic, something I do for you. And there was a phone line on hold. I have nobody here in the studio with me today. And she was asking for a request. And I'm going to play it because she was so nice. Really wants to hear this. Every time I play it a lot, but I love hearing it because I love hearing so many nincompoops be wrong. And I don't think there was a greater percentage of nincompoopery, as Joey and I call it, wrong than when this was put together. It's 3:46.
Donald Trump, just last week, he confirmed to the National Review that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Do it.
Chris Matthews, what happened to him?
Your campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Is that people think that Donald Trump is a clown.
Donald Trump is a clown. I mean, does anybody seriously think that Donald Trump is serious about running for president?
Donald Trump, you know, he's a clown.
The likely moderator apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
Which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones right now, Donald Trump.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point. at real Donald Trump. At real Donald Trump. At least I will go down as a president.
So basically, this is the beginning of the end for Trump.
The beginning of the end.
Beginning of the end?
It's probably starting of the beginning of the end for Donald Trump.
Donald, you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency.
Oh, Jeb.
The strongest person usually isn't the loudest one in the room.
So right now we have Hillary's about a 75 or an 80% favorite. We have different versions of forecasts you can look at.
Poll has Hillary up by double digits nationally, 12 points, 50 to 38, four-way race.
Clinton leading in Florida, Clinton leading in North Carolina, Clinton leading in Ohio, Clinton leading in Nevada. I could go on and on and on.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
And so, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
We have a major projection right now. Donald Trump will take Ohio. Actually, that projects Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida. Huge win for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, we project, will win in Kentucky, in Indiana, with its 11 electoral votes. West Virginia, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, North Dakota, with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, North Carolina, Georgia, Iowa, Utah, Wisconsin, Arizona, Kansas, with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes. Sorry to keep you waiting, complicated business. A lot of people have laughed at me over the years. Now they're not laughing so much, I'll tell you.
Yeah, they're laughing twice as less, if there is such a thing. And here's the thing, I played that as a request at 2729228 in the 334, but it's the wrong one. That's the first one. That's the one they put together after he won the first time. I have number 2, and I'm going to play it, but I'm going to wait till after Salem Radio Network News at the top of the hour. I apologize for my incompetence. But those of you who have been longtime listeners, by the way, so many nice people said things that make me tear up yesterday because I was celebrating 21 years in Alabama. And reading some of the comments was just very emotional. And I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful. But those of you who have been with me for a long time know that these kinds of spontaneous redirections are rather normal on this show. If I make a mistake, I own it and then eat it. I don't know if I'm going to eat it, but I am going to play the other Trump Can't Win compilation. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just glad there's 2 of these. 2 of these you can play to show all. By the way, if you were recognizing some of the voices in that one we just played, most of those people are gone. Not dead. Dead in the industry, but gone. And when you listen to the second one, some of those people are now off the air, reassigned, or I've made a decision. I'm leaving CNN to do a podcast. Right, because there's only 25 million podcasts in America. Why not go get lost in the mass of humanity that's making crap up all day long? Hilarious. Supreme Court voids race-based redistricting map in Louisiana. Here's another good reason that I'm glad that that's over. And it's going to help the Republicans because the Democrats came up with this evil plan. It is not democracy to rig a district so that a certain person wins. And it's going to hurt them big time. I'm hearing 19, maybe 20 seats are going to change. And these gerrymander, and then in Virginia, where they put it up for a vote and the vote passes, they broke so many rules in the process that not even the state Supreme Court's going to overrule that one. This is the game that couldn't shoot straight, and I'll tell you why. Because they're running on nothing but emotions and hatred. And I keep hearing, the Democrats are going to get Congress in the midterms. Why? What have they offered as a plan to improve anything. What's their plan? They don't have a plan. Their plan is hatred. Well, I guess Elena Kagan, she's the fat judge on the Supreme Court, says the sky is falling now with this ruling today. What did she say? I got to find this because, of course, and she's not the only liberal that's losing their you-know-what today. So, good for the Supreme Court. They haven't been right on everything, but they've come through often enough to at least keep the socialist, communist wolf at bay. Because they have no idea. You see what Mamdani wants to do? He was going to tell King Charles, give back the crown jewels or whatever it was, whatever treasure you took from New York 400 years ago. He's like surreally off the wall. Has no idea. He's got all these great, it's like Marxism, socialism, communism. These are all theories that look good on paper, but they don't work. They've never worked anywhere. Cuba is about to come out of the communist darkness. We don't hear much about it because all the attention's been on Iran, but basically they are living day to day there, and they're going to need help. And we should help them when they're ready to make it a free country. You know what? I've changed my mind. I don't care. Oh, Elena Kagan called the consequences of the decision likely to be far-reaching and grave. Today's decision renders Section 2 all but a dead letter. What does she even mean by that? I'm not sure. Anyway, this gerrymandering of this, let's look at just a couple of many examples of the crackpottery that ends up getting elected because of this racial gerrymandering. Hank Johnson, they're still sending him to Congress in Georgia. This is the guy that thought Guam would tip over if it had too many people on it. He seriously asked that question in a congressional hearing. I've been looking for that clip because I know I have the tape somewhere in the system. How about this chick with the weird name, Frivilius, whatever, in Florida, who stole $5 million in COVID relief money and put it into her campaign and into her expense account and lived really large. Jasmine D. Crockett and all these lunatics, these unserious people, once they're in, they're out to be social media stars and line their own pockets. This is what all of this has brought. This should bring an end to that type of representation. I'd like to see many more Byron Donalds who are independent thinkers and not plantation thinkers like some of these crackpot Democrats that have been elected through this process. Hey, it's going to be a very ugly election day in November if all of this continues on the path for the Democrats. All your hysterics, everything else. And Hakeem Jeffries, you're just the asshole of the year right now. Doubling down on, I'm not going to stop my rhetoric. I'm going to be angrier than ever. And while I'm angry and telling you how horrible Donald Trump is, I have no idea how to fix anything. Okay. I need to keep my blood pressure within check. When life throws you lemons, you know the old saying, make lemonade. Well, sometimes you need help making the lemonade because you can't see the recipe through the cloud of emotional anguish you're living in. When it's a family crisis, especially, that's why I recommend Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson. I went through a lot of hell to eventually get into rehab so I could understand that my biggest mistake was failing to turn over my problems to people that could really help me with them. Instead, I turned my problems over to a bottle or a bag of goodies or something, but nothing that would really help. Asking for help is tough to do because sometimes you need the help because you've made embarrassing mistakes and stuff. Listen, Dana Delk and Jacqueline Tomlinson have heard it all. What they really need to hear from you, or maybe you know somebody who could use their experience and wisdom, is leadership. Okay, guess what? You're not the first person that's ever made a bad decision on a relationship or found themselves facing almost end of the world circumstances. What they do is say, okay, this is where it's at, and here's where you want to be, and here's how we're going to get you there. That's what you need. To turn it over. Let them lead. The legal experience is vast. The wisdom is self-evident. It's the look in the eye from both Dana and Jacqueline. We got this, okay? Relax. Focus on your job. You don't want to lose your gig. You don't want to have career problems or anything else. Just, we'll get you through this. So important. They can handle other matters like adoptions, blended families, and even write up a will. All matters of family law under their purview. Look for their website, thealabamafamilylawyers.com, or call 819-4810, or give the number to somebody who needs family law help. 819-4810 here in the 334 for Delk and Tomlinson, attorneys at law.
The representation is made that the quality of legal services performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Traffic is next. Let me grab this call. Good afternoon.
Hey, Greg, it's Dennis. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, but the thing about Hakeem Jeffries, his statement about...
what a son of a bitch.
Well, you don't be so kindly.
He's the worst. He is the worst.
The statement that he made about we need to be declaring a war on Republicans and these conservatives, I couldn't agree with him more. That sounds like the most exciting thing I've ever heard pass over the infidel Democrat mouth. Absolutely. And I am just itching at the opportunity. So shall we begin?
Well, I see your point, and I understand your angst, and I appreciate your phone call. Thank you, Dennis. All right. Guess who's going to join us? We're going to talk concerts and fun and good times with Sammy Smith from the Montgomery Performing Arts Center next hour. Right now, we've got traffic in Salem Radio. Never knew that.
Got an accident earlier on Zelda Road in front of Five Guys near Vaughn Road. Please watch out for emergency vehicles if they're still on the scene there. Light to moderate traffic flow around the Montgomery area. A little busy east-south Boulevard and on I-65 and 85. Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka reporting light to moderate traffic. Lowest tax rates in Alabama at McKenna Nissan. Plus, they've got up to 0% financing on 2026 Muranos. It's worth the drive, and they need your trade-in. See David at McKenna Nissan for all the details. Exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with the J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
For many homeowners, there's untapped reserves hiding in plain sight. It's not in the savings account. It's not in the stock market. It's right under your roof. Now more than ever, homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity, and that equity belongs to you. It can be used to consolidate high-interest credit card debt, to pay expensive school tuition, to cover medical expenses, to invest in renovations, you name it, because that money is yours. This isn't about taking on unnecessary debt. It's about using an asset you already own to improve your financial position and your quality of life. The key is understanding your options and choosing the strategy that fits your goals. Let's see what's possible with the equity in your home. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa, actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
I'm wearing contact lenses now. I got glasses when I was 10 years old. When you're 10, people put things on your face, you just leave it there. But I thought I was getting glasses because I couldn't tell what my parents looked like. Whenever I'd ask my mother for money, she'd say, "What do I look like, a bank?" But when you're 10, your parents are the bank. If I'm 10 years old, I can't walk into Capital One. The teller's just going to say, "What do I look like, your mother?" So I had glasses at 10, braces at 12. When you're thinking about talking to a girl for the very first time in your life, you want as much corrective apparatus on your head as you can get. I said to my parents, "Why stop now? Let's get me a hearing aid, orthopedic shoes. I want to look like I got a lot of doctors in my life."
Casting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
At 4 o'clock. With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. He says he's innocent and unafraid. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted. It stems from his posting of a photo on social media and what that photo is said to represent, allegedly a call for the assassination of President Trump, who had fired Comey during the first Trump term in office. First responders and victims' families meet today with Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla, the 9/11 memorial in New York City. Yesterday, the King addressed a joint meeting of Congress, speaking of the ties that bind the U.S. and the U.K. Last night, it was a state dinner honoring the royal couple at the White House. Iran's national currency has hit a record low, 1.8 million to $1 U.S. The Dow futures down 16 points, while the NASDAQ futures are trading 70 points higher. More details, srnnews.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something.
You got a campaign ending in chaos, and you got another campaign that was able to deploy 90,000 volunteers to knock on 3 million doors. Guys, the better campaign is going to win this one.
He's going to lose. It's not even going to be that close, actually. So I know everyone's talking about how close it's going to be, but they're just underrepresenting the women, and they're over-calculating because they've been embarrassed, the pollsters, twice.
What are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
He's never going to be president of the United States. Thank God he's not going to be that.
First of all, I'm not going to worry about it, Phil, because he's not going to win.
And he's asked me, why I was getting the champagne. And I said, because I'm going to be toasting Madam President tonight. And he just looked at me with kind of like a smirk on his face. And I said, you know, she's going to win this, right? He says, oh, well, it's very, very close. And I said, no, it's not.
The math has shown Donald Trump has no chance of winning in November of 24. He wouldn't even win Georgia.
Even though Donald Trump is going to claim victory, yeah, within a few hours, you're going to find out that's nonsense and that he lost badly.
All right, here it is, everybody. My final map. But I have to say, I'm not shy about putting 349 electoral votes in the lap of Harris. It's going to be a blowout.
Would people, after, in the light of this and all else that happened after the 2020 election, going to vote for him this time, who didn't the last time? Hard to believe.
We are one day away from this election, and I think a lot of people are going to be upset.
I would say take Harris over 270 electoral votes. This guy is a loser. He's fat. He's pathetic. He doesn't know where he is. He's confused. He's dazed. And I think people are going to see through that. And, you know, a lot of these macho, you know, guys, you know, I don't think they think it's macho to attack women, attack Puerto Ricans. I mean, I don't think they're or blacks or anything else.
If you nominate Donald Trump as the Republican nominee, Joe Biden will win and Kamala Harris will become president. That's a fact. If Donald Trump becomes the Republican nominee, we will get a President Kamala Harris. You mark my words. He cannot win a general election. Donald Trump will not win the general election. You can have him win any primary you want. He will not win a general election. We will have a female president of the United States. It will either be me or it will be Kamala Harris.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. That's not going to happen.
All right, this election alert means we are getting to our first big poll closing. Here are our first projections. There, NBC News projects that Donald Trump has won the presidential election in Kentucky, Indiana. In West Virginia, Donald Trump is the winner. Florida, Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas, Texas, North Dakota, South Dakota. NBC News also projects a winner in the Wyoming presidential race, Mississippi, Louisiana, Ohio, Kansas, Utah, Montana, Iowa, the state of Nebraska in the presidential contest, Idaho. The first swing state is North Carolina, going to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has prevailed in the presidential race in Georgia. Pennsylvania, NBC now projects he is the winner of Michigan and its 15 electoral votes.
Donald Trump is the winner in Alaska, picking up 3 more electoral votes. Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin. He is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
Hey, look what happened. This is crazy. Give my remarks to all of the Trump haters, all of the people that said that my Trump was gonna lose. So I say to you this morning, the day after the election,
Never gets old. Never gets old. You know what else never gets old? Having this guy with us.
Igor, would you give me a hand with the bags?
No, not him.
Certainly. You take the blonde and I'll take the one in the taser.
No, this guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, Damen und Herren, from what was once an inarticulate mass of lifeless tissues, may I now present a cultured, sophisticated man about town.
Debbie Smith from the Montgomery Performing Arts Center.
How's it going, Greg?
It's great to see you. Great to take a little bit of time away from the news, although a lot of it's been good today. That's nice. And you came bearing a gift. Sammy brought me something from a recent concert here in town by a group named Styx. Styx. You know, there was a part of me that just wanted to walk out on stage and say that word to see how many people in the crowd would do the right reaction.
Sure.
This is kind of cool. Now, I did not go to the show because it was on a Sunday night. That's a school night.
Right.
At another time in my life, they could have had the concert at 2 a.m. and I would have been on the radio the next day, but I'm not like that anymore. And the set list.
Yeah.
I
figured you'd appreciate that.
And a list of things to talk about, shows coming up. There's some great acts coming to town.
Yes, they are. And talking about Styx too, we certainly appreciate everybody that came the other night. It was a complete sellout, and with Tommy being hometown boy, it was a big deal, and went off without a hitch. And I think everybody was pretty pleased, so including us. But very appreciative of how his hometown and Montgomery showed up for that show the other night. It was really great.
You know, when they were here last time, I've seen them twice now. I got to bring them out in 2014 at the fair at Garrett Coliseum, and then last time I got to visit with them backstage. And the one guy in the band that I had not made contact with in over 30 years was Chuck Panazzo, the bass player.
Right.
But Chuck and his brother John and I were very tight. The two of them, myself and Tommy Shaw, whenever we were on the road and we took rental cars, those were the two groups. JY, Dennis, they were in one vehicle, and I rode with the other guys. And I could tell stories galore from some of those long drives down Highway 27 in Florida when we toured that state. It was all good. It was all good. But Chuck was the one guy I hadn't seen. He hugged me and said, "Thank you for everything you did for us."
Yeah.
And we both cried. We went back a long, long time, 1975. And when I left that night, I felt like I completed the rounds and caught up with the guys. We talked about a lot of things. There were some things, lingering issues, to be honest,
right,
that needed to be discussed, but we did. And it was so good to have all that settled after all these years. And I'd like to keep it the way it is, you know, because I've always been their biggest fan. Always been their biggest fan, and it pisses me off knowing they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they've got to really get those guys in there. So
they're so overqualified. Multiple platinum albums.
There's a lot of drama and politics in the Hall of Fame. So, you know,
the band's always gotten a real attitude from some of the higher ups and the critics, like Rolling Stone magazine and stuff like that. And I've never understood it. Blue collar guys, basically a group of nerds who are serious about their music and love to play. That's what they're all about. They're not doing it for the money. I'm sure it's nice to get paid, but they're out there because they love what they do.
And they're still good at it, and they still put on a great show. I mean, the show was phenomenal the other night.
I don't doubt it.
It was really good.
Sammy, we're going to take a quick break here. We've got weather coming in a little bit later. Uncle Chi-Chi, shirtless weather is ahead. And see, 1 second here. Got to move this, and this. And then we're going to spend a good chunk of time talking with Sammy Smith from the Montgomery Performing Arts Center about some of the shows that you can see later this spring and summer. 4:15.
Well, traffic continues to be busy around the area, and it is building a little bit now. East-South Boulevard with folks getting off work. We got a lot of cars outbound now, 231 to Wetumpka. I-65 and 85 light to moderate traffic. We will update you if any accidents happen. Right now, not seeing any issues around the area. Invisible Fence has both indoor-outdoor systems to keep your pet safe in designated areas. Call Vicky at Invisible Fence for all the information and details. 334-265-2585. Buckle up with the Jay Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this. Listen close. You get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Well, hi, everybody. Our weather app will be your best friend again with another round of strong to possibly severe storms this evening and tonight across the area. Damaging wind gusts would be the main threat. Overnight low in the 60s. Thursday's high only in the 70s, maybe a few leftover showers. Then yet another storm system will bring another round of showers and storms by Friday night into Saturday. Much cooler air follows over the weekend. In fact, even the nights will be in the mid-40s, I think, by Saturday night and Sunday night. Get ready for some weather changes. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Montgomery Men's Health salutes the man everyone depends on. You, the grill master. Your family don't have to go out to eat. You carry the load. You solve the problems. Mr. Fix It. But when you're off, we all feel it. And what happens when the gas runs out? When the strength drops? When the transmission stalls? And I ain't just talking about your truck. Male performance is complicated. Treating low T and ED requires technical precision, and that's where Montgomery Men's Health shines. We've been conquering this since 2014, long before every strip mall had a low T sign. We started this clinic to level you up, to help separate fact from internet fiction, hype from the successful realities we see every day. What works 92% of the time versus what might work online. And we keep getting better. Better service, better care, better value. And for $99, you'll receive a lab panel in minutes and a consultation with our medical provider. Don't wait. Call 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
I'm Todd Strange, and I had the privilege of being the mayor of Montgomery 2009 to 2019. As mayor, our top priorities were the safety of our city and community development. Unfortunately, in recent years, violence has raised its ugly head. We all have seen what's happening in our community. More has to be done to ensure the safety of Montgomery. For that reason, I'm backing Republican Catherine Robinson for Attorney General. She has stood tall for Montgomery and said enough is enough. Catherine has worked in the Attorney General's office for 10 years. I've seen her lead and help set up the Montgomery Area Crime Suppression Unit and help pass tough new laws to target gang activity. Catherine Robinson cares about Montgomery, and she will work with Coach Strobel to put an end to violent crime and restore law and order. Catherine will deliver. On May 19th, join me in voting for Catherine Robinson for Attorney General.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
Hunger doesn't always look the way you think, but it's closer than you realize. On Saturday, May 9th, join the Budget Bites battle at the Heart of Alabama Food Bank and turn awareness into action. Teams will go head-to-head, creating a full meal for $5 per person or less in just 60 minutes. Every $1 raise provides 5 meals for neighbors in need. Now we need you. Register your team today at hafb.org. Deadline is May 2nd. Be part of the solution. Cook with purpose. Fight hunger one meal at a time.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
And welcome back, everybody. And joining us here in the studio, good friend of this show, a great guy in general, Sammy Smith from the Montgomery Performing Arts Center, to talk about the schedule. And, man, starting off May with a couple of great shows. Let's talk about it.
Sure. May the 8th, which is coming up next week. We've got Black Jacket Symphony, which we are always talking about. They're here 3, 4, or 5 times a year. And May the 8th, they're going to be doing Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet album. So that's going to be really cool. May 13th, we talked about this for months, Supergroup Chicago. And there's very limited seats available for this show I'm talking about like handfuls of tickets. So if you have any aspirations of going, you need to go to Ticketmaster.com.
What night is the 13th?
I want to say it's a Sunday. Let's see.
Sunday shows just don't work for me. But I got to tell you, the last time, if you have...
No, it's a Wednesday.
A Wednesday?
Yes.
I might be able to do that.
Yes.
If you love Chicago and you haven't seen them in a while or never seen them, you need to go see this show. I was blown away, not only at the quality and the, three of the original band members still with them, but the singers who have replaced the original guys it's eerie.
Oh, yeah.
How spot on they are, how they've captured what made them magical.
Absolutely.
Well, Chicago's been around since 67.
Right.
But the horn players, Laughlane and Pankow, who's the other guy?
Can't remember his name.
They're out there blowing their brains out on, brass instruments in their mid-70s and not missing a freaking note.
Yep.
The only thing they didn't do when I saw them for the first time in the early 70s was take their shirts off during the show.
Yeah.
They kept their clothes on. But man, that was more than a great concert. It was an awesome demonstration of physical prowess, and gives hope to older guys like Rich Thomas who are around that age and want to keep going.
Yeah,
please continue, sir.
Well, I was just going to say we've had Chicago a few times here in Montgomery, and every time they come, they put on a spectacular show.
Perfect venue for Chicago too.
Yes,
they are not a big stadium kind of band. They can fill one,
right?
But for the maximum acoustic benefit, Impact is the best.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about Impact. Which I think we mentioned the other day. We just put a new $500,000 PA system in the theater. And so it's completely state of the art. And the Stick Show was one of the first shows we got to use it with, and it was fabulous. Cool. But if you've never come to the Montgomery Performing Arts Center, we invite you to come down and take a shot and listen to one of these shows, because it's like watching a show in your living room,
Yeah.
And the acoustics in there couldn't be greater. So, we're very appreciative of everybody that we have that come down, and we want everybody to come and enjoy the theater. So, but moving on, May 16th, we're having the Emo Orchestra and the Spill Canvas. So basically what this is, you've heard of rock operas and things like that, where they'll take Led Zeppelin and turn it into an opera. Mm-hmm. Well, this group is doing the same thing with emo music from the 90s. So you'll hear Blink-182 and some of these other bands where they've converted into an orchestral type thing, and come see it. So that's going to be really cool. That's May 16th. June the 5th, we're having the Legends of Country Rock, which is 4 bands, Atlanta Rhythm Section, Pure Prairie League, Firefall, and Orleans.
That may be the best value ticket of the year.
Yeah, it's one ticket, one night, 4 bands. And, it's something we normally don't do. You'll come to see a show at Impact, and 9 times out of 10, you'll have an opening act. They'll be on for about 30 minutes, and then you'll have the main headliner. With this show, you're going to have 4 actual bands, and every one of those guys have, it's been a while, but they all have #1 hits,
yes,
songs that and it's just going to be a great night of music.
It's sort of like the Happy Together tour with a little twang to it.
Right, that's right.
But all of those bands, legitimate, and some had many more than one big hit.
Right, and I think it's going to run that. The backwards of what I just said. It'll be Orleans, Firefall, Pure Prairie League, and ARS will go on last. Mm-hmm. So, so that's going to be a fun night, and a long night too, I would imagine. Tickets are still available for that show. June 6th, we have actor and comedian MC Lightfoot, which is coming, and he's going to have some other people coming with him. June 22nd, Vince Gill.
Wow, that's a huge name.
Yeah, and this show went on sale and was almost sold out in 6 days. I think we have a handful of tickets for this show as well. Less than 20 probably tickets available. And then the person you've been talking about for months, Leanne Morgan, which is kind of neat for us. We started off with that show. The shows are going to be, there's going to be 3 shows with her. July 24th, 25th, and 26th. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. Originally, it started off, Alan booked it as a Saturday night show. Mm-hmm. Well, we have, if you're a member of Impact, and we have VIP ticket. You can call on Wednesdays and order your tickets ahead of time before it goes on sale to the general public. Well, this show's almost sold out on Wednesday. So Thursday, we decided to add another show. Leanne was good with that. So we added Friday. And by Saturday, both of those shows were nearly sold out. So we added a Sunday show. So all the years, we're in our 18th season being open in Montgomery. We've never had an artist do this.
I love her. She's so real. And she is very funny.
Yes, very funny. And so this is kind of uncharted territory for us. I'm personally, as the director of sales, are amazed that this is happening. But nonetheless, there are tickets. We still have about 500 or 600 tickets for the Sunday show available, and a smattering of tickets for the Friday and Saturday show. And then moving on into the fall. We've got the Rick Burgess show coming. That's going to be on September 11th. And then comedian Daniel Tosh from Tosh.0 will be here October 10th. And then a couple of shows that no one knows about, and I'm just breaking this early because we're gonna announce them next week, is September 24th, we're going to have Ann Wilson from Heart. She'll be doing a solo show at Impact. We're going to make the announcement officially on Tuesday morning, and tickets will go on sale at 10 a.m. next Friday at Ticketmaster.com.
There's a crush.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only a couple of bands I've never seen live. Of all the artists I've played in my glorious career, Heart is one of them.
Yeah.
I know it's not Heart, it's Ann Wilson, but I would love to see her. And that's right before my birthday. That would be a great birthday gift. If some generous person were to say, hey,
here's some tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Go enjoy Ann Wilson from Heart. That should be an awesome night.
I saw Ann and Nancy here in Montgomery back in the late 80s, early 90s. And they played at the Garrett Coliseum. And it was a great show. She's got some pipes.
They were just, yeah, exactly. She was, they were just never in town or in a town at a time when I was in town where I could go.
Right.
It was always some kind of a conflict.
Well, we never really got, I'm sure, I've lived here all my life in Montgomery, and in the 70s and early 80s, it was kind of like Footloose, except not for dances, for concerts.
Right.
So, a lot of people that are my age got to miss out. We had to go to Birmingham, or we had to go to Atlanta, or we had to go to Mobile. And, when Impact opened, that changed the game. And so, now we're getting to play catch up.
One of the things, in addition to being a great venue and some of the awesome people you brought in, when you go to a concert at Impact, you feel like you're going to a class place.
Oh, yeah.
Not just some concert venue. I went to a bunch of those in Chicago, even South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They've upgraded over the years, but you feel like you're it's a great date night.
Oh, yeah. And the best part of it is, Impact is part of the Renaissance Hotel. And so you have the Exchange Bar, you have the House Restaurant, you have the hotel. So if you live in Greenville and you want to come up for the weekend, get a room, spend the night, you walk 100 yards to your room from the concert.
Yeah.
So, and you're self-contained, park your car in the garage, and it's just a great place to see a concert. We try to keep it in the best shape that we possibly can. Alan Sanders has been running this facility for 19 years. And
please give him my regards.
Absolutely. But he has done a fantastic job of bringing these concerts, because we have to go out and, I know a lot of people think we throw darts at a board, like on Police Squad, but, there's some strategery, as some people would say, to it. And he's done it for a long time and continues to excel at it. So,
can I tell you a lame-ass stick story?
Sure.
Early on when I was with the band, there was a DJ, an old WLS DJ in Chicago named Dex Card. That was the name he used on the air, Dex Card. We started producing shows around the Chicagoland area where he brought in a hot name, somebody with at least one big hit. my first concert was Bob Seger. I saw him at Dex Cards Wild Goose, which was in a church hall for $2.
Oh, wow.
This is when Ramblin' Gamblin' Man was a hit.
Right.
And I was like 15, 16, something like that. And we decided, and Dex used to produce shows for the band. And we decided, we knew kind of how much money was coming in, how much he was getting, and how much they were getting. So we decided to put on our own shows. So we formed a corporation called Super 7 Productions. It was the 5 band members, the road manager, and myself. I was actually part of a corporation at one point. And we found out just how hard it is to put a show on.
Oh, yeah. It's tough.
And to nail down all the details. And, you know, we did that. We did 2 shows. We made a grand total. I should do a high-low contest with this, with the listeners. We netted a grand total of $248.
Well, that's a lot of money back in the 70s.
It got you, yeah.
But when you divide it 7 ways, it really doesn't amount to much.
No,
Yeah.
no. That's when we decided maybe this isn't our.
So you stuck to recycling Coke bottles, right?
Just another lesson learned in life.
Right.
It's not as easy as it would appear to be.
And it's, you know, it's really difficult to find shows that people in Montgomery want to come and see. And because you have such a diverse area, you have to have shows that appeal to everyone. And a lot of times, you know, we try to do the best we can. But, you know, you'll have someone go, well, you've got a country show. When are you going to have an R&B show? You get an R&B show. When are you going to have a rock show? You get a rock show. When are you going to have a ballet? So, you know, and that's why we're trying to get out too and get the word out. There's so many people that, you know, theater's been there and it's in 19th season. And we're still having people. I didn't know Chicago was playing. Or I didn't know, you know. So that's what we're trying to do is branch out social media. You know, you can always follow us on social media if you want to keep up with the latest shows and be able to get ticket discounts, things like that. But all the shows that we were just talking about, you can get tickets for them now at Ticketmaster.com, or you can go to impactonline.org, or you can call the box office at 481-5200 and get tickets, or 5100 rather, and get tickets for any of those shows. But basically just the premise of trying to find a show, you have to find a band that is on tour, that is touring the Southeast, that have a date available. We have the date available because we don't just have concerts. We have all types of events at Impact. So then you got to get that all together. Then it's the price. And you have to get all the particulars for the tour, you know, to be able to do that. And then you can work with some of these people for 6 months, and then all of a sudden something falls apart and it's over. And all that work goes out the window. Yeah. So it's very tricky to get these shows. It's not just pick up the phone and.
Is there anything way down towards the end of the year? I mean, I'm kind of curious. Like, one of the best Christmas spirit-inducing things I've ever seen was the Cirque du Soleil Christmas show a couple of years ago. That was awesome. Anything way out there that you can at least?
I think Cirque will be coming back this fall. I think we had them in 24, so they'll be back possibly this year. Nothing official, but Alan's working on a lot of big shows right now. Some really big name artists and some stuff that we'll probably be able to talk about in the future. But the main thing are these 2 shows that we were just talking about, Ann Wilson and then Trombone Shorty, which I don't think I mentioned. It'll be September 13th. Both of those shows will be going on sale next week.
Sammy, I can't thank you enough for coming by. I keep this list that you handwrite for me because it's easy to find because it's handwritten.
Sure. Yeah.
So we'll be talking about all these on the morning show and stuff tomorrow. It's always great to see you.
Great to see you.
And
and congratulations on your 21 years here. We're glad to have you as a Montgomeryan.
Hey, the pleasure's been all mine.
It's ours too, buddy.
Yeah, I made a lot of bad decisions in life, but coming here, I don't know that any decision for anybody could have worked out better than this one for me. And that's because we have so many awesome people here in the River region. That was the thing. I was used to the curtness and the rudeness, all those New Yorkers in South Florida. Come here, you know, people would make jokes about rednecks. And I said, listen, if it's 2 a.m. and you're on the side of the road, you know who's going to stop and help you? A redneck. That's who's going to stop and help you. They're good people. Stop with the. And then somebody else said, "Oh, he's going to Montgomery, Alabama, to the backwoods." Like we don't have plumbing here, internet, electricity. It's amazing some of the ignorance and prejudice, which I continue to fight to this day. Sammy, thanks for listening to my speech.
Thanks, bud.
You're awesome. 4:36. All right. Brad McDonald's going to join us at 5:15. We'll talk about your money and what kind of day the market had. There are still plenty of other stories we haven't gotten to yet. Right now, though, we want to check in on your commute with Skipper. We have 1819 News, Rich's forecast. And let me do a quick, before we get to Rich's actual forecast, take a quick look at the Live in Fear Doppler, because we do have, in fact, you can feel it in the air. He said the dew point's higher. Yeah, there is a big band of storms to the southwest. Let me put the map in motion. And you should expect to see rain right after you get home. The way it looks, at least it's going to be starting around that time. How is the drive home, Skipper? You're up.
Well, at the moment, we have busy building traffic all over the area. Interstates, boulevards, all of our feeder roads out of Montgomery are busy, including 231 to Wetumpka, Troy Highway, Highways 80 and 331, light to moderate traffic, 31 to Prattville, building a bit. No issues, though. Keep it here. We will keep you updated. High school students, Trenton State Community College dual enrollment program lets you earn college credit while you're still in high school. Take the first step towards your college journey. Go to TrentonState.edu for more information. Buckle up. Wendell J. Montgomery, Skywatch Traffic.
News is brought to you by Bath Innovations. Call Bath Innovations today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
1819 News. The commissioner for the Alabama Department of Corrections is going to retire. Governor Ivey announced the plan for John Hamm this week. Ivey also named the ADOC Chief Deputy Commissioner Greg Lovelace as Hamm's replacement. Hamm took on the commissioner role in 2022 after 35 years in law enforcement. Ivey commended Hamm for his exceptional work in running the Department of Corrections and also said that Lovelace brings a lot of expertise to the job of commissioner. Lovelace will assume the role as commissioner this coming Friday and will be in that position for a year since Ivey's term as governor expires at the end of next January. That's when a new governor elected this coming November will step into that office. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A man has been arrested in Mobile County for a gruesome quadruple homicide. 54-year-old William Oliver of Wilmer is facing 8 counts of capital murder in the case where a mother, her pregnant teenage daughter, and 12-year-old son were all found tied up and murdered in their home on April 20th. Wilmer has a criminal history in Mobile County going back to the 1990s. U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville has signed on to a piece of legislation that would designate the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign terrorist organization. Tuberville says that the Muslim Brotherhood is against everything that this country stands for. I'm Andrea. For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Bath Innovations of Alabama can replace your old bathtub with a low-step shower featuring built-in seating, secure grab bars, and slip-resistant flooring, often installed in as little as 1 day. Call Bath Innovations of Alabama today to schedule your free in-home consultation.
And this is a painting of my grandfather, the only one he ever had made. Sometime, take a close look around your house. This sewing machine was my Aunt Mary's. If you have possessions that are irreplaceable, consider this. Each year, over 65,000 American homes suffer a fire due to an electrical problem. Are our possessions safe? To know for sure, call Crosby Electric, your exclusive provider of CurrentSafe, the world's foremost home diagnostic system. Using high-tech equipment, Crosby Electric will check your hidden wiring, panel box, light switches, and electrical outlets to pinpoint potential problems and make sure your things are safe.
Oh, my daughter's second-grade art project. I'd die if something happened to this.
Some things can't be replaced by insurance. Don't wait another day. Call 272-2085.
for an in-home no-obligation assessment or visit crosbyelectric.com. Don't just think it's safe, know it's safe.
Now you'll be safe with Currency.
Not all meat and three plates are created equal. At Epicure and Jack's Tavern, every meat and three is scratch made to order. No shortcuts, no freezer tricks. Just honest cooking with real ingredients. Once you taste the difference, you'll understand why theirs stands above the rest. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Scratch made isn't a slogan, it's how they cook. Located at 2060 Downing Street in Millbrook.
With spring officially here, Pizza Perfect has sprung a great deal for April. Get a free order of breadsticks or cinnamon sticks with the purchase of any large or medium pizza. That'll make the whole family smile. Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
Alabama weather will never fail to surprise you. Our lawns hardly get a chance to have any downtime. This year, save the hard work and aggravation and call Alabama Lawns, the River Region's leader in weed control and fertilization services. What makes Alabama Lawns the River Region's best? It's the people. They have the experience, education, and commitment to customer satisfaction. Ask your neighbors. Alabama Lawns has been the Montgomery Advertiser's Reader's Choice Award winner 14 years in a row. The Alabama Lawn staff is made up of long-term employees and agronomy graduates, and the staff at Alabama Lawns attend annual continuing education classes. It pays to have someone that knows southern grass types and how to keep them green and flourishing. Call Alabama Lawns today at 272-7171 and let them show you real value in lawn maintenance service. Alabama Lawns, the company with black trucks and green lawns.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our weather app will be your best friend again with another round of strong to possibly severe storms this evening and tonight across the area. Damaging wind gusts will be the main threat. Overnight low in the 60s. Thursday's high only in the 70s, maybe a few leftover showers. Then yet another storm system will bring another round of showers and storms by Friday night into Saturday. Much cooler air follows over the weekend. In fact, even the nights will be in the mid-40s, I think, by Saturday night and Sunday night. Get ready for some weather changes. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix. If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Happy birthday, Jerry.
I love how the postal system has this financial, emotional meltdown every 3 to 5 years that their business model from 1630 isn't working anymore. I can't understand how a 21st century information system based on licking, walking, and a random number of pennies is struggling to compete. What is the reason? And so they always send the postmaster general out. He always has to make a big speech about what tough time that they're having. And he comes out and he's freaked out. He's got rings under the eyes, no shave, pulling all-nighters. We can't do it anymore. We got to go up a penny on the stamps. There's no way around it. We're trying to get some breathing room. The costs and the infrastructure. And we're all like, hey, dude, do whatever you got to do. We don't give a damn. What is a stamp anyway? We don't even know what it costs. 43, 48, make it $1. You're going to get there. You have some money left over, buy yourself some pants and a real car.
if I could talk through the post office, if I could say to them, if you really want to be helpful to us, just open the letters, read them, and email us what it says. Thank you very much.
They're probably looking at it. Anyway, once again, thanks to Sam Smith from Impact for joining us, previewing some of the great upcoming shows. I meant to say something. I have missed out on the Black Jacket Symphony experience. They've got Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet. That's on May 8th. And then Chicago on the 13th. And if you've never seen them, first of all, it's hard to imagine, other than, of course, the rock group Styx, that has a bigger portfolio of legitimate hits. A lot of concerts are bands that have hit the top 10 a few times, have some decent secondary cuts on albums. Chicago could do a 4-hour show with everything to crack the top 40. And they're just amazing in person. Musicianship is the word that comes to mind. And Vince Gill on June 22nd, that guy's got a resume that's second to nobody's, really. So good stuff happening at Impact, and it's a great place to attend a show. It's always a good time. And pick one out. Treat yourself. Have some entertainment. And let's see. And I'm especially intrigued. They're going to be announcing Ann Wilson from Heart doing a show on September 24th, just in time for my birthday. If somebody had said, Greg, what would you like for your birthday? Ann Wilson would have been not in that way. I mean, it's a concert, of course. I would never have those other kind of thoughts. 448. Some of you have been long-term listeners. By the way, on the YouTube feed, Happy Hour with Greg and Pamela on YouTube, I like to put some of the headlines that I'm looking at up there so you can see them too. And there's that fat cow. And I'm sorry. Is it sexist? Yeah. Is it ugly? Yeah. But it's better than what I'd really like to say. That crazy woman that beat up her husband that's actually got a chance to be governor of California, Katie Porter, cursing out the president 4 times in one meal sent after the attack. Mental illness is not a good campaign platform. And this decision today, maybe one of the most significant in recent memory, the Supreme Court putting an end to the racist gerrymandering so we can have great Congress critters like Hank Johnson term after term of that clown ass in Texas, Al Green. What have they done for their constituents? That's what I'd like to know. Anything of substance? Anything of significance? Most of them aren't worth respect. Let me give you a quick example. I don't know what race she is, but she has purple hair. She's this, again, Connecticut, to live in Connecticut, you got to have money, got to have success. They tax the hell out of you there. And then they elect the likes of this woman, Rose DeLauro. This is, David Blackman sent this out in his blog today, babbling away about poisoning her. She has no idea what she's talking about. Because it is a hoax, you ignorant woman. Oh my God. This is Lee Zeldin listening to this imbecile. And he's asking her legitimate questions. And by the way, climate change is a hoax. Oh my God. I really, I just put that on YouTube. I have one question for the people of Connecticut.
What the hell is wrong with you all?
Good Lord. I wonder how long she's been in Congress. And this is an old lady who dyes her hair purple. I can't listen to any more of that. Sorry. Wow. Here's a clip. Now, this guy's good. Texas Representative Brandon Gill. This guy could be one of the real players, the real true conservatives for the GOP in the future, questioning a radical pro-abortion ghoul about the true details of how abortions are really performed. Now, I'm going to warn you, you may not be able to listen to this. But he's asking questions that, of course, again, the witness will not answer. Let me get you some volume here. I read the transcript of this. Let me start that over.
The cervix is dilated and a strong suction 29 times the power of a household vacuum cleaner pulls the baby's body apart and sucks it through the hose into a container. Do you prefer that method?
Which was?
That was pretty gruesome. Do you agree? Okay, what about this one? This one is called dilation and curettage. After dilation of the cervix, a sharp-lipped knife is inserted into the uterus. The baby's body is cut into pieces and extracted, often by suction. Do you prefer that method? But I believe what you're here to talk about today is the pre-suck. I'm asking you, you're a pro-abortion advocate. I'm asking if you prefer dilation and curettage method. I don't know about access to reproductive health care.
For who?
You don't want to talk about abortion itself. Why is that? I would prefer to talk about the reason that the committee called the hearing. Did you think it's something that I would prefer to be uncomfortable? I would prefer, because of that informational statement, to talk about Freedom of Access to Planned Pregnancies Act. You're talking about what that access gets. How about this one? It's called dilation and evacuation. Forceps are inserted into the uterus, grabbing and twisting the baby's body to dismember him or her. If the head is too large, it must be crushed in order to remove it. You prefer that method? I prefer to talk about the reason that the hearing was called and the basis of my expert testimony. It's uncomfortable to hear this, isn't it? It is. Okay. It's more bad for people. How about this one? It's called the saline injection. It's when a 20% salt solution is injected through the mother's own gland into the baby's amniotic fluid. The baby's skin is burned off. The baby ingests the solution and dies. Salt poisoning, dehydration, and hemorrhaging of the brain. Do you prefer that method? I prefer to talk about the subject of the hearing.
In other words, she's a Nazi that just doesn't want to discuss the means at which they execute their mission. Give him credit. And this woman, and every line is lit. So this may have started something. We'll see in a moment. 4:56. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, Greg, I just want to let you know we could only hear your voice when you made those comments. Nothing that you were trying to play went over the radio. It may have gone to YouTube, but it didn't go over the radio.
Oh, that should not, because I've got all the buttons that need to be pressed. I'm really sorry.
No, you're good. But I knew when I was hearing you and it went silent, and then we could hear you making comments, I said, he doesn't know. So
Wow.
I just was wanting to let
So
you know.
that's why all the lines lit up.
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you letting me know that, man. Thank you. And
All right. Have a good night.
I'm not going to make excuses, but I am telling you the truth. I mean, we had everything melted down this morning, and we're still restoring. Like, for example, normally we'd have the Wall Street Business Report coming up. It's not available for whatever reason. Hopefully, we'll have a fresh edition of Salem Radio Network News. But in playing this, and I don't know if anybody was able to hear it on YouTube, I've got the right buttons pressed so you can hear it on the air. The volume was on. So I honestly don't know what happened, but I apologize. You need to check this clip out. You could probably find it on YouTube. Texas Representative Brandon Gill and his questions on which method of abortion this prefers in questioning a witness in a hearing. I'm scrolling away here. I want to give you all the information so you can look it up. It's, like I said, very tough to listen to. And her, I mean, you know what? With the typical countenance of most liberals, smug, arrogant. And I don't know if you heard the DeLauer clip or not, but there's another piece of work. Maybe some of these people, again, I have renewed hope that we will, that the Republicans will retain power, because the Supreme Court today said this racial gerrymandering is done. It's not constitutional. You can't cure one problem by making it law. Can't cure racism by making racism law. And liberal heads are exploding all over the country about that too. All right, we're getting ready for the last hour of the commute here at 5 o'clock. Let's get Skipper in. Try and get you some news. And Brad McDonald, 5:15.
Well, you guys are doing a great job on the roads today. It has been quiet throughout the afternoon. Right now, busy building traffic. We are really getting busy on the interstates, the boulevards. All of our feeder roads outbound are beginning to really load up as folks are getting off work, but no issues anywhere. Keep up the good work. Put those seatbelts on. Be safe. We will keep you updated. McKinnon Toyota has just received a shipment of Toyota 4Runners, financing as low as 2.9%, plus you get small town service. They're family-owned. McKinnon Toyota, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up with Jay, Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
I'm Todd Strange, and I had the privilege of being mayor of Montgomery 2009 to 2019. As mayor, our top priorities were the safety of our city and community development. Unfortunately, in recent years, violence has raised its ugly head. We all have seen what's happening in our community. More has to be done to ensure the safety of Montgomery. For that reason, I'm backing Republican Catherine Robinson for Attorney General. She has stood tall for Montgomery and said enough is enough. Catherine has worked in the Attorney General's office for 10 years. I've seen her lead and help set up the Montgomery Area Crime Suppression Unit and help pass tough new laws to target gang activity. Catherine Robinson cares about Montgomery, and she will work with Coach Strobel to put an end to violent crime and restore law and order. Catherine will deliver. On May 19th, join me in voting for Catherine Robertson for Attorney General.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
This is Frank Bertarelli with Zap Pest Control. We're here today to thank Blue Water Broadcasting. We're now over 31 years in business. If you don't believe in radio advertisement, give these guys a chance. You won't be disappointed. Zap Pest Control is still on the move today, thanks to the friendships we've made with Blue Water Broadcasting.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
If you think of the amount of time, mental effort, physical energy that goes into your clothes, picking them, buying them, does that go with that? I don't think I can wear that. Oh, I'm missing a button. This is dirty. I got to get something new. Can't wear that. I think we should all wear the same exact clothes because it seems to be what happens eventually anyway. Anytime you see a movie or a TV show where there's people from the future or another planet, they're all wearing the same outfit. I think the decision just gets made. All right, everyone, from now on, it's just going to be the one-piece silver suit with the V-stripe and the boots. That's the outfit. We're going to be visiting other planets. We want to look like a team here. Individuality thing is over. The dry cleaner I can't stand because I don't think he's doing it. I don't know what goes on back there, but I cannot conceive of such a thing as actual dry cleaning. We all accept it because we see the stores everywhere. But think about it. Dry? Well, what is dry? You can't clean something dry. What do? Tap it, shake it, blow on it? There's got to be some kind of a liquid back there. You ever get something on your clothes and get it off with a fingernail? That's dry cleaning. That is the only dry cleaning. I brought this guy in a suede jacket, got spots on it because I was in the rain. Says there's nothing we can do. Water ruins leather. No, aren't cows outdoors a lot of the time? When it rains, do the cows go up to the farmhouse? Hey, let us in. We're all wearing leather out here. Hey, open up, man. I'm suede. Dry clean.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Bravo.
Well, folks are getting off work, and we are seeing a lot of cars now on I-65 and 85. Boulevards loaded up, and all of our feeder roads outbound, picking up a lot of traffic now. But it has been a quiet afternoon. No real issues at the moment. Keep up the good work. Wear those seatbelts, and we'll keep you updated. Haynes Ambulance there for you both on the ground and in the air. From a simple patient transport to life or death situations, Haynes is ready at a moment's notice. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
Behind every clean lobby, every polished boardroom, every safe, spotless workplace, there's Janie King Franchise Center, who takes pride in making it happen. These are your neighbors, people who live here, work here, and care about the businesses that shape our community. They show up, they follow through, and they make sure your facility is ready for the day, every day. That's why companies across the community trust Janie King as their local cleaning partner. Visit JanieKingCleans.com today.
Well, don't worry, I'm not losing it. Things have been wonky here all day. I thought that was the news coming up. And what a surprise. It was another traffic update from our glorious traffic guy, Wendell J. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the news at 5:05.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
That's not news.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. He says he's innocent and unafraid. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted. It stems from his posting of a photo on social media and what that photo is said to represent, allegedly a call for the assassination of President Trump, who had fired Comey during the first Trump term in office. First responders and victims' families meet today with Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla, the 9/11 memorial in New York City. Yesterday, the king addressed a joint meeting of Congress, speaking of the ties that bind the U.S. and the U.K. Last night, it was a state dinner honoring the royal couple at the White House. Iran's national currency has hit a record low, 1.8 million to $1 U.S. dollar. The Dow futures down 16 points, while the Nasdaq futures are trading 70 points higher. More details, srnnews.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Those of you who listen all day, you may have noticed that that was the same Salem Radio Network News. And I just want to explain that when we had the power failure this morning, which was caused, by the way, by another a-hole who thinks that Carmichael Road is the US 30 drag strip. It is one of the most dangerous places to speed in Montgomery, and this accident occurred at the cancer center. No doubt somebody coming from a treatment, probably not feeling 100%, or elderly, who didn't see a car coming along at 50 or 60 miles an hour or didn't realize it. And there was a wreck that hit the power transformer and it knocked power out for the whole area for a good bit. Well, that happens here. The electronics are great. The digital era is great. It makes things easy and convenient. But rebuilding it, if the power fails, is almost a Herculean task. So that's why some of these oddities have been occurring today. I'm not even sure if the YouTube feed is working. I haven't seen a single comment up there all afternoon. But we're doing our best to deal with it. Brad McDonald's going to join us by phone. You know, that's the one thing that never fails us, the landline. How about that? This clip with Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, on Fox, talking about Jay Powell's going to hang around. He's going to be the herpes chairman. You just can't get rid of this clown.
Secretary, we look forward to the Kevin Warsh era at the Fed. I know you've been a big supporter. Unfortunately today, ungentlemanly, Jay Powell has decided to stay on as a governor. It's only the second time in 113 years. I don't know why. You know, let's just say, why did he have to do it? Why not just leave it up to Kevin Warsh for a new era?
Larry, I want to come back to the Warsh Fed, but I will say it's highly unusual what former chair, soon-to-be former chair Powell did. And Larry, to be clear, the last time that a Fed chair stayed on the board, it was at the request of the president. Yeah. And one thing I can promise you is President Trump did not request for Jay Powell to stay. I think it's highly unusual for someone who says he's an institutionalist and cares about norms at the Fed. This is a violation of all Federal Reserve norms. And I've got to tell you, also, Larry, I think it is an insult to Kevin Warsh, Mickey Bowman, and Chris Waller to think that these other Republican nominees do not care about the institution of the Fed and that he alone can maintain the integrity of the Fed. We've had the worst inflation perhaps in our country's history, certainly in 47 or 50 years under this chairman. And I think the good news is today, Kevin Warsh cleared committee. He's going to be confirmed. He will be the new Fed chair on time, May 15th, May 16th, and I think it's going to be a new day at the Fed. And again, all President Trump wanted was accountability. We're going to get an IG report on the building. That's all he ever asked for.
Yes, sir.
And I think that we will have a great monetary policy. I think we will have great management in terms of the regulatory and of the facilities.
Oh, well, the main reason it's happening that way is because Jay Powell is a 24-karat
rectum.
Seriously. Phone call at 511. Good afternoon.
Hey,
I don't have time. News Talk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I wanted to let you know there just was an accident on I-65 North. That is just before the Northern Boulevard exit, right about the bridge area. I just watched it happen. It was in the left bank. It's going to cause it's going to cause a backup.
All right, I'm going to get that information to Skipper, and we do appreciate it. I-65 northbound at the Northern Boulevard exit.
No, sorry, I should have been more clear. On the bridge before the Northern Boulevard exit.
Oh, on the bridge before the Northern Boulevard exit. Okay. Thank you for getting that in. I'll get it to Skipper. Brant's going to join us in a minute. We appreciate your contribution. Thank you, sir.
Have a good one.
All righty. Brant is coming up next.
Montgomery Men's Health salutes the man everyone depends on. You, the grill master. Your family don't have to go out to eat. You carry the load. You solve the problems. Mr. Fix It. But when you're off, we all feel it. And what happens when the gas runs out? When the strength drops? When the transmission stalls? And I ain't just talking about your truck. Male performance is complicated. Treating low T and ED requires technical precision, and that's where Montgomery Men's Health shines. We've been conquering this since 2014, long before every strip mall had a low T sign. We started this clinic to level you up, to help separate fact from internet fiction, hype from the successful realities we see every day. What works 92% of the time versus what might work online. And we keep getting better. Better service, better care, better value. And for $99, you'll receive a lab panel in minutes and a consultation with our medical provider. Don't wait. Call 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Well, hi, everybody. Our weather app will be your best friend again with another round of strong to possibly severe storms this evening and tonight across the area. Damaging wind gusts would be the main threat. Overnight low in the 60s. Thursday's high only in the 70s, maybe a few leftover showers. Then yet another storm system will bring another round of showers and storms by Friday night into Saturday. Much cooler air follows over the weekend. In fact, even the nights will be in the mid-40s, I think, by Saturday night and Sunday night. Get ready for some weather changes from the Blue Water Weather Center. This is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
All right, we now go to the man that we call Mr. Right on the Money, Brant McDonald from Invista Advisors. Hey, Brant.
Greg, hey, buddy. How you doing, man?
Good. I don't know if you had a chance to hear it. I just played the clip of Scott Besson talking about Jay Powell staying on the Fed, which is almost unprecedented without the specific request of a president. It is unprecedented. What does all that mean? What's that all about? Is that politics on Powell's part?
Well, it certainly is politics, and obviously, in his statement, he said something like he wants to, ensure that he protects the institution and all this kind of stuff. But this whole thing is about the Department of Justice and the review of his time there as Fed chair, particularly around the building of this or the renovation of the Federal Reserve building and other things that he was doing, which certainly we all know some of the political moves that he made himself as Fed chair during the presidential election. Some of those were super questionable, no doubt about it. And what I found interesting too is if you look at the way that the FOMC voted today, and let's just get this out of the way. I mean, obviously they did not do anything on interest rates. But there were a record number of voting members of this committee who dissented in their vote. You had, Governor Myron, who at one time himself was a candidate to become Fed chair. He dissented and felt like we needed a 1/4 point rate cut. There were 3 others who dissented against using language by the Fed that still indicated that they might ease at some point this year. So you had 4 of these voting members who dissented, and that is really very rare. You look at the commentary that the Fed governor had, both in the prepared statement that went out to the press as well as in the press conference. He said that, and these are true. I mean, you can't knock him for this. I mean, that a geopolitical risk, a war that does create economic uncertainty and does create some uncertainty about future inflation. That's true. There's no doubt about that. But for him to then say, yes, this looks like it's going to be my last meeting, but I have no intention of stepping down from being a member of the Board of Governors. So for people who are listening to me, it can be confusing, but Kevin Warsh is, he cleared the major hurdle today in the Senate Banking Committee, and it's pretty much now a foregone conclusion that the Senate is going to vote to approve him as the new Fed chair. So I think that's all but a done deal. And so he will become the Fed chairman on May 15th. But remember, the Fed chair, yes, he definitely has a lot of power. But when it comes to monetary policy decisions in these, meetings where they have these FOMC meetings like they did today, he's one vote on the committee. And certainly the Fed chair can express his opinions, and typically the board will sometime acquiesce a bit and give him a little more benefit of the doubt, just to show some little bit of cohesiveness among the Fed. But now you're going to have a situation going forward where Kevin Warsh is going to go in on May 15th, and when they have the next Fed meeting, or I think it's around the middle of June, you're going to have Jay Powell in that room with him. And it's going to be a really odd situation because you've got some of the old guard there, voting members who are going to, have their opinions about things. Certainly Kevin Warsh is going to have his, and then you'll have a few that are going to side with him. And I just don't think it's going to be healthy for the Fed at all. As a matter of fact, I think that in the coming, at least the next 2 meetings, I think the Fed is going to look an awful lot like it has over the last 2 meetings. And I just don't see a whole lot of changes in terms of the overall discussion around monetary policy and certainly the direction or guidance around monetary policy. But with all that being said, I think that Warsh is going to be a great Fed chair. I think he's going to make some much needed changes there to turn back what the Fed has become, which is an institution that is far too involved in our daily lives, far too involved in the politics of it all. And they really need to return to their rightful place of being in the shadows and not front and center. They just have too much power. And I think Warsh is going to be determined to go in that direction. Jay Powell will probably slide off the Board of Governors once he is satisfied or cut some sort of deal with Trump. And once he feels confident that nobody's after him anymore, I think he probably then leaves. And he even sort of intimated or indicated around that in his prepared remarks at the press conference. So we'll see what happens with all of that going forward, but it is surprising and it's highly unusual. And you're correct. The Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, in his remarks, pretty much said exactly what I just said. And hopefully he doesn't stick around too much longer, and we can get this all, this mess kind of behind us so that Kevin Warsh can take full control and not have a split Board of Governors in that room. Moving on from that, Greg, I mean, certainly that was one of the big pieces of news for today, but this afternoon we got reports from some of the really big tech names, some of these mega cap companies. If you look at Google, they reported their numbers, their top line revenue as well as bottom line earnings were ahead of estimates. What they had to say about their cloud business was really very, very, very positive. And they also announced an increase in their CapEx numbers, which basically just means how much money they're going to take and invest in AI and their business model. So Google in after hours is up around 6 to 6.5% or so.
Wow.
Yeah. Microsoft had better than expected earnings as well. Their Azure cloud business was a little bit better than was expected. That's the main reason it's up. It's not huge, but it's still up around 1.5 to 2% in after hours trading. Meta really got hit hard. Some of their numbers were weaker than expected. They're blaming it on their user base over in the Middle East that's been disrupted from the war. Who knows if that's true or not?
Yeah.
But needless to say, the stock's down around 40 points in after hours trading, or roughly about 6.5%. Those numbers just not. I mean, for Meta, were just not that great. So kind of a mixed bag on some of the big tech names in after hours. Looking forward to getting the earnings report from Apple. I believe that's tomorrow. We'll hear more about the new CEO, and maybe we'll get a glimmer into what the future might look like for Apple. Certainly around their AI strategy, which everyone wants to know about, and so maybe we'll get something there. I would like to think that if we do, it could be market moving for the stock, and we'll be reporting on that with you tomorrow. But in the meantime, just real quick, let me just say this on the Iranian situation. I'm sure everyone's seen, the Iranian economy is in serious trouble. And I've been mentioning this the last week or so, that the longer it goes on, the more damage is done, particularly with the infrastructure and the installation of in the Iranian in their market, and that's going to make it even more difficult to bring oil prices down once this is done for a whole variety of reasons. But anyway, that's where we sit today, my friend.
Well, I really appreciate all the insights on that. And, Trump has picked a couple of people who have turned out to be very disappointing. But among the superstars in this, like Marco Rubio and so forth, Scott Bessent so impresses me.
Yeah, he's a very, very smart guy. The thing that makes him so valuable to the team is because of his Wall Street experience. You know, he was a former hedge fund manager, very, very successful, well-heeled guy. He's not a pure academic, sort of like we've had in the past with Yellen or Bernanke or certainly Jay Powell. I mean, you've got a guy who's been there and done that. He's been in the trenches. He understands the implications and the ramifications of monetary policy and how to manage the federal government's balance sheet, particularly with respect to borrowings and how you deal with maturing treasuries in the TGA, the Treasury General Account. So he's a really, really smart man, you're exactly right. I mean, a very valuable member of the team.
We sure do appreciate your time, my friend, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
You got it, Greg. Y'all have a good night.
You too, my friend. Brent McDonald from Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Like it is, baby. That's what our buddy Skipper does when it comes to traffic. Blue Water News with Sky next.
Well, we have the report of an accident, I-65 northbound, end of the River Bridge right before Northern Boulevard. However, we are not seeing that one at the moment. Traffic very busy there across the Alabama River Bridge and on 65 northbound, but traffic seems to be moving fine there. We are extremely busy everywhere, interstates, boulevards. We are loaded up on all of our feeder roads outbound at the moment. Please be safe out there this afternoon. We'll update you. Registration going on now at Trenton State Community College for summer classes that begin May 20th. That date will approach very quickly. Change your life. Go to TrentonState.edu and get all the information. Buckle up with Jay Montgomery Skywatch Traffic.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Montgomery woman has been arrested for arson in connection with an early Tuesday morning fire. Montgomery Fire Rescue units responded to the 600 block of West Edgemont Avenue shortly after 5 a.m., where the house was engulfed in flames. Investigators quickly determined the fire had been intentionally set. 27-year-old Venetia Nathan was arrested on the scene and charged with first-degree arson. Montgomery Public Schools will be holding its kindergarten kickoff week beginning Monday at all elementary schools. Kindergarten kickoff allows students and parents to register, take a tour of their school, and meet the teachers. All families with incoming kindergarten students are encouraged to attend next week. An elderly Prattville resident missing since April 24th has been found safe. 93-year-old Elton Robert Ralston was found alive following a large-scale multi-agency search led by Prattville Fire Rescue. Details are still limited, but Ralston was found in a swampy wooded area miles from his home. Rescuers noted that Ralston's dog never left his side. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
News is brought to you by Budget Floors and More, your new best friend.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Hero Donuts and Buns in downtown Montgomery has closed down. The owner of the business, Thinkus Restaurant Group, has been named in a lawsuit claiming the group owes nearly $400,000 for food already received. The lawsuit claims Hero's Montgomery location owes about $6,000. Little Donkey, another Montgomery restaurant affiliated with the group, also allegedly owes nearly $45,000. Alabama Department of Corrections Commissioner John Hamm has announced his retirement. Hamm has served as head of the prison system for just over 4 years. Governor Kay Ivey made the official announcement on Tuesday. The governor also announced her appointment of Greg Lovelace as Hamm's replacement effective on Friday. The town of Pike Road has officially broken ground on a new fire station. The new facility will be located on Wallahatchie Road just across from the current fire station. The new addition will also include a training facility for first responders and emergency personnel. Construction is scheduled to be completed sometime next summer. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
Clogged drain? Overflowing septic? Don't panic. Call the experts who've been solving plumbing problems in the river region for more than 50 years. The Tierce family's local Roto-Rooter team specializes in fast drain cleaning, septic repair, and installation. One call and your troubles are on their way down the drain. That's 272-7130 or visit rotorooteralabama.com. Roto-Rooter, always here when you need us.
Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And legal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bell's today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bell's Cleaning River Region.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This is Jennifer Pestricelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. If you're in outside sales and feel your income is capped, it might be time for a change. At Blue Water, top performers build strong books of business and create real income by helping local companies grow through radio and digital marketing, including social, streaming, and targeted campaigns. You'll prospect new business, manage your own accounts, and control your earning potential in a performance-driven environment. We're looking for motivated, experienced sales professionals who are ready to be rewarded for what they produce. If that sounds like you, send me your resume today at bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
And now a star is born. On April 29th, 1954, the world welcomed little baby Jerry Seinfeld.
Push, breathe, yada, yada, yada. Hello, Jerry.
Hello, Dr. Newman. Jerry Seinfeld, a star is born.
Food is so complicated as an adult. It's just, you see people in the supermarket, they're just sweating it out. Nobody knows, what do I eat? The protein, the carbs, the fat content. Oh my God, fat content. You're just walking up to each other. You look pretty good. What are you eating? Maybe I'll eat that. The whole supermarket itself is designed to break down your sense of having any life outside the supermarket. It's like a casino. There's no clocks, no windows, no easily accessible exits. You ever not buy anything in the supermarket and try and get out of there? It's impossible. There's no way out. You can see what happens to people. When they're walking up to the supermarket, they really have a whole sense of purpose. I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that, I'm going to pay for it, I'm going to get out of here and get right back to my normal life. You see that same person 10 minutes later just... What aisle is this? Why did I come up here? Always noticing something new. Oh, they got them in mesquite flavor now. What is mesquite? Wonder if it's made from mosquitoes. I'm wearing contact lenses now. I got glasses when I was 10 years old. When you're 10, people put things on your face, you just leave it there. But I thought I was getting glasses because I couldn't tell what my parents looked like. Whenever I'd ask my mother for money, she'd say, what do I look like, a bank? But... when you're 10, your parents are the bank. If I'm 10 years old, I can't walk into Capital One. The teller's just going to say, what do I look like, your mother? So I had glasses at 10, braces at 12. When you're thinking about talking to a girl for the very first time in your life, you want as much corrective apparatus on your head as you can get. I said to my parents, why stop now? Let's get me a hearing aid, orthopedic shoes. I want to look like I got a lot of doctors in my life.
Jerry Seinfeld's birthday today and always worth celebrating. 5:35. Looking to see if there's something in local news that might pick up. Oh, there's Joy Reid. I have a nauseous stomach at the moment. I got to be honest with you. something happened around 5:15 that I don't know what it was, but it didn't feel good. And I'm guzzling Diet Coke to try and settle my stomach. And then I look up and I see Joy Reid, a mental patient who for a long time had a show on MSLSD Now or whatever it's called today. And she's totally convinced, because she's an imbecile, that the whole attempt on President Trump was staged. I mean, Wolf Blitzer was there. He's not exactly Trump's best friend, but he saw the gun. They staged this. They had weapons fired and everything else in a crowded hotel so that Trump could get his ballroom built. It saddens me. It doesn't make me angry. It saddens me knowing that there are people that stupid. And you know what, Fox? You're not making it better by giving her airtime. She needs to go away. She needs mental help. She's a mental midget and a racist and a few other things, but I'll keep the language clean. Locally, the lead story, WSFA, landfill search to begin for body of missing Alabama girl. So I guess my thoughts on cheering myself up with local news were misguided at best. Take a quick look. I am qualified because he certified me, Rich Thomas did, to check things like radar and let you know what's happening out there. He was on the show with us at 3, preparing us for the next batch of storms coming in. And it's a little concerning because they're going to start fairly soon. They are southwest of the city right now, and it looks like they will be, well, this is interesting. This next round of storms is going to be moving in a more eastwardly fashion, and it looks like the bulk of the heavy activity is going to stay to the south. We'll get some showers here, but the big thunderstorms, they are going to be, if this future radar holds true, skirting to just south of Interstate 85. Now, this is different from what I saw a couple of hours ago, but you never know with this. But coming in from 65, a good stretch of that road from Montgomery all the way down to the Mobile area is going to be seeing rain of one level or another. Here's a phone call.
Don't want to damage anything.
Hello?
Hey, this is Jeff.
Jeff.
I tell you what you can do for your upset stomach. Ginger ale and crackers.
Ginger ale and crackers. You know, I usually have Sprite Zero on me, and that helps. But guess what?
Ginger ale is great.
Yeah, I agree. That's the ideal solution. And I've got crackers at home. Maybe I can stop by that crowded gas station, and if I don't get robbed there, I'll be able to get some ginger ale.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks. Well, you know, sometimes you just feel so bad, you don't give a damn if you get robbed or harassed. Because I'll give it right back. That's me. That's just the way I'm wired. All right, we're at 5:40. Here's the latest on road conditions from Skipper and Rich's forecast at the end of this break.
Very busy on the interstates right now, especially 85 northbound out of the interchange. Looking good right now on 65 northbound. I had an accident reported on the River Bridge earlier, but we are not seeing that. Traffic's moving fine there. Also, around the area, Prattville, Millbrook, Wetumpka, light to moderate traffic. Just very busy everywhere. We'll keep you updated. If you have less than perfect credit, McKenna Nissan may have just the plan for you. Talk to David and explore all your options. They'll do everything possible to have you driving today. McKenna Nissan, exit 212 off I-65 in Clanton. Buckle up, Wendell J. Montgomery Skywatch traffic.
I'm Todd Strange, and I had the privilege of being mayor of Montgomery 2009 to 2019. As mayor, our top priorities were the safety of our city and community development. Unfortunately, in recent years, violence has raised its ugly head. We all have seen what's happening in our community. More has to be done to ensure the safety of Montgomery. For that reason, I'm backing Republican Katherine Robinson for Attorney General. She has stood tall for Montgomery and said enough is enough. Catherine has worked in the Attorney General's office for 10 years. I've seen her lead and help set up the Montgomery Area Crime Suppression Unit and help pass tough new laws to target gang activity. Catherine Robinson cares about Montgomery, and she will work with Coach Strobel to put an end to violent crime and restore law and order. Catherine will deliver. On May 19th, join me in voting for Catherine Robinson for Attorney General.
Paid for by Robertson for Attorney General, P.O. Box 50063, Birmingham, Alabama 35253.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama Sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our weather app will be your best friend again with another round of strong to possibly severe storms this evening and tonight across the area. Damaging wind gusts would be the main threat. Overnight low in the 60s. Thursday's high only in the 70s, maybe a few leftover showers. Then yet another storm system will bring another round of showers and storms by Friday night into Saturday. Much cooler air follows over the weekend. In fact, even the nights will be in the mid-40s, I think, by Saturday night and Sunday night. Get ready for some weather changes. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Didn't we defund NPR? I hope so, because I just saw a headline. NPR
Want to carry news?
has decided, that was my error, operator error, has decided that Alan Cole Thomas Allen, Alan Thomas Cole, whatever the hell this lunatic's name is, he does not have a radical footprint. Meaning, in their investigation, they decided that all of his opinions are normal. In other words, wanting to show up at a hotel armed to the teeth, determined to kill the president and as many of his cabinet members as possible. This is We should expect this. Man, how fast can they be shut down? That's just sick. All right, it's Jerry Seinfeld's birthday. We're having a party here. And because I really am not feeling all that great, and I don't want to mail it in, I got some Seinfeld clips lined up here. So rather than get depressed about how insane some of the news is, we'll have a laugh on Jerry. Your stand-up drive home. And you know what? You'll hear this a lot better when I put it on the air. Hopefully, this will come through both on the YouTube feed and over the air. Some of the stuff we've done this afternoon has not, for reasons I don't understand. I'm a simple man.
The cup holder defines American culture at this point. We can't hold the cup. People get in the car. Where is the cup holder in this car? This is insane. Get some wheels on the luggage. Get me a belt clip for my cell phone. Get me an earpiece, too, and not one that you take in and out. Drill it right into the side of my skull. You have a dog, and the dog, they give you a leash with this extra leash wound up inside. In case the dog pulls it, you hit the button, let the line out like he's a marlin. Nobody wants to do anything but lie in bed. Anything, if you're not in bed, it's work. Even death, people want to be in bed. I always read that he died in his deathbed. I always read that in the paper. Why would you even buy a bed like that? How are you going to start feeling better sleeping in a deathbed? Where is that section of the furniture store? These are our deathbeds over here. We also have a death side table, death reading lamp. Is that a death clock radio? Yes, but there's no snooze. Either you get up or you don't.
Big pants and cookies.
They're selling pants now, and there's a thing in the pants that you can pull, and the waistband will pop open an extra couple of inches in the middle of your meal. That is where we are at now, my friends. We cannot wait till tomorrow to put on bigger pants. I need a ripcord right now. But food has power, we know that. And cookie companies, they try and make it seem like the cookies are very innocent. Well, it's just elves living in trees making. It's nothing. The war between us and the cookies. Look at that box. It's like a military bunker inside there. It's like that preformed plastic barracks that the cookies live in. You slide it out. It's like a D-Day beach landing troop carrier. All the cookies, they're lined up waiting to go into combat. But the rows are key. The rows of cookies keep the mayhem somewhat under control. You get to the end of a row, any half-sane person, you stop for a second. What the hell am I doing here? I was going to have a couple. I just mowed down the whole row. I was lucky to walk away from those cookies. Good thing I had my Hager safety pop open slacks.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
A new year brings new opportunities, and right now the market is starting to shift.
Interest rates are beginning to come down, which means more buying power and more options for buyers who've been waiting.
If you're thinking about buying a home, this could be the moment to take that next step.
And whether you're buying, selling, or investing, having experience on your side matters more than ever.
At Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, we're also growing our team.
If you're an experienced agent ready to make a difference in this market and want to be part of a team that values knowledge, support, and results, call Hannah and Eddie Realty Group, where opportunity meets experience.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Hunger doesn't always look the way you think, but it's closer than you realize. On Saturday, May 9th, join the Budget Bites battle at the Heart of Alabama Food Bank and turn awareness into action. Teams will go head-to-head, creating a full meal for $5 per person or less in just 60 minutes. Every $1 raise provides 5 meals for neighbors in need. Now we need you. Register your team today at hafb.org. Deadline is May 2nd. Be part of the solution. Cook with purpose. Fight hunger one meal at a time.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Happy birthday, Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, you're all excited when you get something, right? You bring it in, you open it on the kitchen table, the place of honor for the new arrival. You read the instructions, fill out the registration card. You may even join the club of other idiots that have this thing. And then some time goes by, and it slowly begins to dawn on you that maybe you're not going to be quite as keen on drying out fruit and storing it in your basement. So what do? You have to demote it. Objects start the highest level, visible in a living area. From there, it goes down to a closet, cupboard, or drawer. That's why we have those, so we don't have to see all of the huge mistakes we have made. From the closet, it goes to the garage, one of the longest phases in trashification. No object has ever made it out of the garage and back into the house. The word garage seems to be a form of the word garbage. I don't know why they whisper in golf. Other sports, people are screaming. Objects are going 90 miles an hour. Golf, you have a stationary object, manicured lawn, blue sky, 72 degrees. Would you shut up? I'm trying to tap it. People whisper in golf because there's a lot of rich people around. Rich people make people a lot of money. Quiet. A lot of money around. Certain things make people whisper. Rich people make people whisper. Black people can make people whisper. Who do I talk to? Talk to the black guy. Cancer makes people whisper. Do they know what it is? Might be cancer. Tipping makes people whisper. Did you tip? Did you give me a tip? How much did you tip? Sexual attractiveness makes people whisper, she was so hot. So if you're a rich, hot black guy with cancer and you leave a tip before putting, you can hear a pin drop. eBay is the only thing that can save the object at this point. eBay, another great step forward in human culture. Hey, why don't we mail our garbage back and forth to each other? Why talk to your family at night when you could be bidding $8 to $10 on a troll doll from Thailand? Or a personal storage unit. This is the saddest of all. Now, instead of free garbage, you pay rent to visit your garbage. It's like a prison visit when you go there, isn't it? Everything's locked up, everything's rusted and broken. You gotta bust into that lock, you lift up that rolling steel door. Look, I'm trying to get you guys out of here, okay? If there's no place for you in the world, I'm looking, I'm working on it. I will be back to see you again soon. Everything is thrown out in the end. We are thrown out in the end, my friends. And when I hear about someone that died and wanted certain important personal possessions put in with them when they're buried, I'm all for that. Take your crap with you
So good. All right. We have a call. I'm not sure who. Good afternoon.
Hey, man, love that stuff and all. But looking at where are you going? Which one of the remedies are you going to try? Have you settled?
Well, I think I'm going to get some ginger ale.
Yeah, that'll work. The bubbly will make you. If it was coming through the other end and all, you'd done one of those food, kind of like Sydney this morning. You're talking about. But look here, you upset your stomach. It's supposed to be acidic to a point. It's supposed to be alkaline, the whole system through there and all like that.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever used baking soda?
I have some in the car.
Baking soda?
Yeah, I keep it in the car to help keep odors to a minimum.
Well, look, it's still good.
Yeah.
Just get a half a teaspoon. It says a teaspoon and all like that, but in some water and all, and you know it's rough and all, but drink that and shortly, and then you just go on your way and get your crackers, whatever you want to from everybody else and all. But trust me, man, that stuff will work, because what you're going to do is alkalize your stomach specifically and all, and cut down some of the acid that's been in there. I know you have.
The news gives me the acid, by the way. You know that, right?
Say what?
The news is what gives me the acid.
Look here.
Democrats are trying to kill me.
Yeah, right. To the point that it's going to be a heart attack for us and all. And I'm with you, bro. I love. Thank you for ranting for all of the rest of us and all. But by God, at some point,